thought it might be easier to show you what's going on in the room than to go back and forth on emails. So if you take a look at everything, you can see that I've had a pretty busy morning digging out all these loose areas. So my original thought was that the reason it was peeling the way it was because moisture got trapped between the first coat and the second coat of gray that I put on. That was my assumption until I got everything, until I started digging everything out. If you look, here's some bad areas that I dug out. This is some kind of green paint, and this is another color on top of that. Paint will peel to its weakest substrate, and for whatever reason, this surface here from way back in the day failed, and anything that's been put on top of that is loosening up and bubbling. So there was not moisture caught between the coats. I didn't know that until I started digging everything out. See all that green? That's some coat of paint from years and years and years ago. And right in here is a coat on top of that. Now this is not the primer that I put on. The primer I put on is a bright white, and then obviously the two coats of gray. So these, what I did is not failing. What's failing is this old stuff, and you know, that's pretty much the assumption I'm going on now. Almost every area where I dug it out, you can see that green, and you can see that other color. It's like a light off-white on top of that green. This is behind the bed here. So it's quite a mess. Good news is that, you know, I think I figured out why it's happening. The bad news is that there's no telling what's going to happen going forward. So I'm going to prime everything and then come back tomorrow and start spackling all the bad areas, building them back up, and then I'm going to apply another coat of primer and then finish coat. So my concern is that the areas that are fine, for instance, you know, right here, the areas are fine. You can see these black marks. That's from me scraping. You know, they're totally tight right now, but what if they get activated when I paint and then they bubble? So there's just really no way to know if that's going to happen or not. I mean, who knew this was going to happen in the first place? So that is what I'm going on. You know, I'm glad that it wasn't something I did, but I'm not glad that this could just keep happening. Every time the walls get painted, they're activating that loose paint that's buried under, you know, coats and coats of paint, and it could happen again. But there's nothing I can do about that. So we'll just try to fix it, see what happens, and hope for the best. I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I will send you this so you'll have it. But again, you can see all these green areas. That's a coat that's failing for whatever reason. And then also this area on top of that is failing. So anything we put on top of that has a chance to fail. But what else are we going to do? We can't leave it like this. So as you can see, quite a lot of damage. Ceiling's fine, trim's fine. It's just these walls. And we all know that the walls, what they had in common was that they had wallpaper, and I'm assuming they had wallpaper removed a long time ago. You know, it's just a problematic room for whatever reason, but I think we got to the bottom of it. See that green over there? That's the coat that's failing and pushing the top coats off. All right, hopefully vacation is going well. You know, I'll get this fixed up as much as I can. I just don't have a whole lot of confidence that what I'm doing will last forever, because there's nothing I can do about the stuff that hasn't peeled yet that might decide to peel at some point. Anyway, back to work, and hopefully you guys are having good weather down there, and I'll talk to you later.